Shalom, shalom, and welcome to my sukkah. I am Rebekah bat Yahovah, and Hag Sameach, happy Sukkot. Yay, I hope that you have had a wonderful week of Sukkot, and you've done many wonderful things in your sukkah. We have done crafts, and we've read, and we've eaten in our sukkah. The one thing we haven't done is actually slept in our sukkah. So, have you slept in your sukkah this week? I would love to have you come over for a slumber party in my sukkah. That would be fun, huh? Well, today I want to read you another story about Sukkot in my sukkah. So you are going to be my guest today in my sukkah. So let's see what we have read so far. Let's get my book bag. Here's my book bag. My official Sukkot tote. How fun is that? All right, so what have we read so far? Well, let's see. Well, I know we read Sadie's Sukkot breakfast. We read the pout fish, my favorite. One of my favorites. We read the too crowded sukkah, the very crowded sukkah. We read about Yeshua's birth. Remember, we read this book, the story of Christmas book. Actually, we changed it to the story of Yeshua's birth, and we read about his birth and the shepherds. And then the second part, we read about the wise men when the Magi came. And yesterday we read about Engineer Ari and the Sukkah Express. That was a fun one, huh? So today I think, I have several here, but I think I'm going to read this one, The Vanishing Gourds, a Sukkot Mystery. Yeah, let's read about a Sukkot mystery. And we always have to look and see who the author is, who the person is that wrote it, and who drew all the pictures. So, because I didn't write this book. So the lady who wrote this book, her name is Susan Axe-Bronk, and the lady that drew all the pictures, her name is is Marta Monelli. Marta Monelli. Marta, I like that name. Okay, The Vanishing Gourds. I think I'll get a sip of water first. Do you put fruit and vegetables in your sukkah? Do you put gourds in your sukkah? I would love to see a picture of your sukkah. All right, so here we go. We're going to read the story of the Vanishing Gourds. It's a mystery we're going to look at here. All right, and try to figure out and solve. Sarah jumped in a pile of golden leaves while squirrels gathered her acorns nearby. "Would you like to go to the farm today?" her mom called out of the window. There she is. It was almost Sukkot, her favorite holiday. Sarah liked everything about Sukkot. She liked helping her dad build the sukkah. She liked baking pies and eating in the sukkah with her family. She's building the sukkah there and she's baking there. But her favorite job was helping to decorate the sukkah with colorful gourds of vegetables and fruits that they bought each year. There they're going to buy fruits and vegetables and gourds. Sarah and her mom drove past houses and stores and wide sunny fields until they reached the farm. Their first stop was to see the animals. There, she's going to go see the animals. "Hello, Curly," Sarah greeted the littlest lamb. She watched chickens pecking at grain and fed the goats some grass. And then they went over to the farm stand. She's in the barn right there. "Look," Sarah exclaimed, pointing to tables overflowing with gourds. "There are so many colors and shapes and sizes." Sarah chose, okay, see how many she chose. We're going to see how many gourds Sarah chose to buy for her sukkah. She chose 7 beautiful gourds. Nice number, right? Let's see, she had 3 green gourds, 2 orange gourds, 1 red gourd, and 1 yellow gourd. "This is my favorite," she told her mom, holding up the orange gourd. It was S-shaped, just like the letter of her name. So her name is Sarah, and the gourd she got looked like an S. So when they arrived home, Sarah's brother Avi helped her hang the gourds from the sukkah roof. Later that afternoon, when they went out to set the table in the sukkah, Sarah counted the gourds. 2 orange, 3 green, and 1 yellow. But that only made 6. Remember, she got 7. What happened to the 7th gourd? She looked down, and a gourd lay broken on the ground. Its seeds were scattered everywhere. It must have been the wind, Ari explained. Okay, look, see, their gourds are up there hanging, and there's one right there, down, and it fell. Must have been the wind. During dinner, they heard a rustling above them, and suddenly 2 more gourds fell down. The Fava, the cat, raced through the sukkah and started playing with the fallen gourds. Sarah counted the gourds. There are only 4 left. She whimpered. Look, they're in the sukkah, and they hear something, and then the gourds fell, and there's the kitty playing with the gourds. Where's my kitty? Kitty, 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 kitty. No, it's not under there today. After dinner, Ari and Sarah brought out their sleeping bags to sleep in the sukkah, and soon they were fast asleep. My girls used to sleep in the sukkah. Sarah woke when it was still dark. She nudged Ari and whispered, "I see stars." Ari turns over and looks up. "And I see more gourds missing," he said, looking up at the sukkah roof. Only 2 gourds were left, and Sarah's favorite one was gone. Just then they heard munch, scrunch, crunch. On the ground sat a squirrel holding Sarah's favorite orange gourd in his paws. Mystery solved. We know who was making those gourds fall. "Hey, you!" Sarah yelled. "Stop!" But the squirrel ran up a tree. Sarah was angry. "Bad squirrel," she yelled. "You ruined our beautiful sukkah." Sarah was still angry when she fell back to sleep. She dreamed that she chased the squirrel up the tree and demanded, "Give me back my gourd." There they are in their sleeping bags. She's looking up. They see some more gourds. Here's the squirrel going into the hole in the tree, and she's mad. She dreamed that the squirrel came out of his hole with his family and apologized. "We're sorry to eat your gourds, Sarah, but we are very hungry. I will bring you new ones next year," said the squirrel in her dream. When the sun rose the next morning, Sarah woke and remembered her dream. She smiled when she thought about squirrels bringing her gourds and laughed when she imagined them shopping at the farm. Then she remembered that the squirrels had said that they were very hungry. So she ran into the house and brought out a handful of nuts. She placed them carefully in the middle of the picnic table in the sukkah for the squirrels. So there she is waking up, and there's the squirrel in her dream with a purse buying gourds and fruits and vegetables at the farm for the sukkah. Okay. The holiday ended, Sukkot ended, and Dad took down the sukkah. Oh, so sad. All through the fall and winter, Sarah made sure that the squirrels had enough to eat. There they are taking the sukkah down. A year passed. On the day before Sukkot, the next year, Sarah raked the leaves on the patch of grass where the sukkah would go. "When you're finished," Mom called from the house, "we'll go to buy some gourds." All of a sudden, Sarah said, "Come quick." So there's Sarah raking the leaves where their sukkah is going to go the following year. So it's not the same year, it's the next year. Mom, Dad, and Avi rushed outside. Sarah was hopping and jumping and pointing to the ground. There were 7 beautiful gourds growing in their yard. 3 yellow, 3 green, and 1 orange gourd. An S-shaped one, like the first letter of her name. The gourds had sprouted from the seeds left by the squirrels the year before. Oh, look there, she's jumping up and down because she sees the gourds that are growing out of the ground. Isn't that fun? Sarah remembered her dream. The squirrels had brought her gourds for the sukkah just as they had promised in her dream. She ran over to the tree and shouted, "Thank you, squirrels. Thank you for helping me to celebrate Sukkot." There she's laying on the ground saying thank you to the squirrels. Isn't that fun? So what was an annoyance the year before in her sukkah, when the squirrels were after her gourds and they kept eating the gourds and the seeds would fall to the ground, they actually helped her by giving her gourds the next year, because those seeds went into the ground and then they sprouted and they grew and they made new gourds for their sukkah, for her sukkah the next year. That's a fun story, huh? The mystery is solved. Okay, you have a wonderful rest of your Sukkot and today, and I hope that you have lots of people in your sukkah. Maybe you will have some animals visit you in your sukkah today. I have cats and dogs in my sukkah. I would love to have some squirrels join me, I think. All right, shalom. You have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow for one more story this week of Sukkot. Shalom. Chag Sameach.